Vanilla Minecraft's crop and farming system just really doesn't work for expert mod packs, especially not for ours. So we changed it. So, our main problem with the vanilla crop farming is that 1. It is too fast, 2. It is not restricted enough, and 3. There isn't enough depth to the whole system. And we implemented some changes to fix all of those problems. At least hopefully. First of all, crops are of course restricted by seasons. That's a basic Serene Seasons feature, we didn't need to add anything extra for that. But of course, if you know anything about our modpack uses 24-hour days synced with IRL time based on where the server is located, and also IRL seasons, which of course is one of the main core differences that makes our pack unique. And this works perfectly with that. And also integrates very nicely with Adventure, because guess what, if you cannot grow wheat until the summer or autumn, well, maybe you just go out of your way to visit a couple villages and just steal their wheat. Steal their hay bales or whatever else. But it does not stop here, because we have made another change to this whole system. There is no current UI implementation for it, but that is coming before the modpack gets a test server again. But basically all of these crops, even including stuff like bamboo or chorus fruit, are restricted to only a handful of biomes. Make it daytime real quick. So if I take some wheat and I try to plant it right here, on the beach, it won't grow. Even if I try to bone meal it, I just can't. But if I take it to a plains biome, which this is technically still a forest biome, sorry, not just plains, forests or plains, and I plant it, well, it still doesn't look like it's growing. That is because everything is also slowed down by a lot. Every time a crop tries to grow, it has a 1 in 10 chance of actually being able to grow by a level. But we can still use bone meal on them, so let's just speed it up like that. Bone meal is not slowed down because we want to make bone meal expensive, and having it be expensive while also not working most of the time doesn't make a lot of sense. If I speed up the tick count, this should start naturally growing, although slowly. The idea is that you have to have your farmland loaded with chunk loaders, but of course, it is also intended that most servers limit the per player available chunk loaders. So you will not only have to look out for the right biomes and then try to find them, but you will also have to decide if it's worth putting down a chunk loader there so your crops can actually grow. And also, if you look at my inventory, we just got some quality crops. Now this is one of the systems that we are using to make farming a bit deeper. Every time you plant a crop, there's a slight chance when you harvest that crop that it will give you quality versions of them. Now quality crops can be used for a lot of cool stuff. Mainly giving yourself just more food or more nutrition per food right now, but we're also planning to implement some special food versions in the future, or other food quality versions, where basically if you have wheat that is a higher quality, there's a chance of becoming a type of wheat that can give you speed when you cook something with it. Now I'm not sure if that can actually transfer between crafting recipes, but that's a system to figure out later, and it's only a stretch goal for the first test. The base quality itself though is gonna be in the test server again, of course. And the cool part is also that some crops are way better at getting quality than others, because of course a potato has a very nice bonus to it. And it's very simple, it's just the fact that you can plant the potato itself. So that means that if you get a quality potato, which is not in the right biome, I'm realizing. Never mind, it's not actually about the biome itself, it's the season. So if I just add a couple days to our season counter, we can actually get our carrots and not the potatoes, because those only grow in spring. But now that it's spring, it can grow again. Perfect. Okay, I was a bit concerned there for a second, but it's just a secondary restriction. So as I was saying, and as you can see in my inventory, we actually got higher rank potatoes and carrots. And of course, the good thing about these is we can just plant the higher rank ones. And that of course just means that we don't need to get the seed separately and the produce as well, which then we can use to cook better foods that give us more nutrition, saturation, all of that. And of course, when we plant these crops, they have a higher chance of being a higher quality, because they are by default already gold tier. And of course, as I was saying, this system is meant to work well with our mod pack specifically, meaning that of course one player cannot go out of their way to farm all of these crops, and these are just the starting crops, of course, not just these. We have all of the crops in the mod pack implemented right now. If I do a hashtag crops, all of these should be restricted, minus maybe some that I have missed, like the glow canes. And what that means is, of course, you can... What am I looking at? Why are they going back and forth? You know what, I'm going to stop asking questions. Let's go back. So as I was saying, I'm going to look this way. All of these little factors, like the season, the amount of farmland you are willing to sacrifice chunk loaders for, the biomes you have available, because of course biome size is 5 times larger, and you might actually increase it depending on how the test goes. And rare biomes like deserts or snowy biomes are twice as rare as well. All of these factors play together into you not being able to farm all of the crops, which means that you will have to trade your crops. And then of course we have quality playing into that as well, because if you have multiple people selling the same crop, you probably want to buy the one that has a higher quality, except if they're selling it at a more expensive rate. Although you still might want to get that, which all depends on your own situation. What biomes do you have around yourself? How much food do you need? All that kind of stuff, because of course we are going to have the recruits mod, which is not technically on 1.20, 1.1 right now, but as far as I know it will be updated eventually. Those guys also need food, and in our configs, because we've had this back on 1.20.1 for a while before, so I know these configs are possible, at least they were on 1.20.1, you not only need to pay them, otherwise they leave you, but you also need to feed them, otherwise they die. So I feel like this system is going to weave very nicely into our modpack. And next time we are going to talk about something very cool, and that is going to be ore generation, or the lack of it, and how the only way to get ores is these gigantic ore veins that you can find. This is a rather small one, honestly, and they're special typings. I'll see you then.